I think I'm live. My hair's kind of wet. Let me see if I'm actually live. Because I never know if I am till I look. Are we live? I think so. Hi. Hello. Oh, I see my face on the internet. Hey. Hello everybody. Wow, cool. Everyone's here. Hello. Yes, live. I always have to ask. I actually go to my page and check. Sorry. My hair's still wet. I keep doing this during the streams for this Kickstarter. I totally kind of get ready to go on the air a little bit later than I intended to. So here we are. Wow. This is our last hour of this Kickstarter. I kind of can't believe it. I can't believe that this is all coming to a close already. This month just went by in such a blink. We had GaryCon and just all kinds of stuff. Just this month just was instantaneously over already. So, ring a bell to raise the viewers. Oh, I always forget to ask people to like the video and stuff, which is fine. I mean, if you want to, I know you will anyway. So, yeah, my hair is wet right now. It is wet. This is not dirty hair. This is wet hair. Wow, if my hair looked like this when it was dirty, someone would need to give me a talking to. If I ever look like this in public and it's because my hair is dirty, please get somebody to check on my well-being. I brought a snack because I originally was going to eat popcorn as a part of this, and then I ate my popcorn before the stream started. So I brought a different snack. It's snack time. Yeah, I ate all my popcorn already. Sorry. I do that too. Does anybody do that at a movie? They get popcorn at a movie, and then they're already pretty much halfway through it by the time the previews are over, because that would be me. Because it's good. Popcorn's good. I could probably just eat it for every meal. Hi from Fort Worth. Oh, can't wait to get my Shadowdark merch. I'm excited. I'm so excited. If you pledge without a reward, can you do add-ons? Yes. So I asked BackerKit this. We're working with BackerKit as our pledge manager, which we're going to get set up in a little bit. Snack. What are you all eating for your snack? I'm literally going to eat on the air. It's so rude. But we're all hanging out. So let me see. This is a cherry stick. It's actually pretty good. It's pretty good. Yeah. Recommended. Not this stream is not sponsored by Fruit Strips. Popcorn. Oh, I get it, Lunar Rose. I totally get it. You get fat. Popcorn makes you fat. Yeah, because Scott's I could literally eat garlic bread for every meal. And that's when he first discovers that carbs are not really very good for you if all you eat is carbs. Hello. Oh, so exciting. Everyone's here. Hello. Hi from Richmond. Always good to see folks from Richmond. H-Town. Is that Houston? Wichita. Oh, you're currently drinking a half gallon of chocolate milk? That's a lot. Is that something called the half gallon challenge? Hello from the hospital. Oh no, I hope you're not there for very long. Well, that's not fun, but at least we can hang out together and have a nice time, hopefully, celebrating the current status of this Kickstarter. This is crazy. I think I have to keep refreshing the page or something for it to I don't know if it's gonna totally change it. It's gonna unzoom it. Oh yeah, see, is it back on? I couldn't get it to fit correctly on my screen. This is just wild, you all. This is wild. You need your coffee? You need your coffee? Oh, H-Town is Houston. I knew it. Grand Rapids. I know that one. Oh, Nova Scotia. So cool. No karate day. There's no karate today? Oh, you can always make it a karate day. One of my favorite things to read is Black Belt magazine from the 1980s. I have a few of them, and they're just so delightful. There's every time there's an article about ninjas. There's Chuck Norris kicking stuff with sponsored pants. It's just a treasure trove of culture. I love it. It's one of my favorite things. If you can track down like old martial arts magazines from the 80s, it's like just about one of the most fun things to read of all time. Highly recommend. Okay. So, come to Mexico for a margarita or a tequila shot. I mean, you're gonna have to take one for me when the stream ends then. Ninja mags were the best. I love them. I love ninjas. I love ninjas so much. No, I'm sure that the version of ninjas as I know them is like very, very off the mark from actual ninjas, but Oh, Jason says bidet from Edmonton. Even as a not super expert Critical Role person, I know that joke. Horwill's ninja class? We'll see. I would say that a Razgo die class from Curse Scroll 2 is about as close as I will take a ninja design. You know, at least for now. At least in the Western Reaches. Who knows if there are other reaches? There might be. I mean, Western implies that there are more, but Western Reaches is all I've written so far. Hi from Australia. Hello. Oh, my son said a picture of him kicking Chuck Norris in the face. How did Chuck Norris allow that? How did he allow that? I feel like he had a pretty good sense of humor. Like, he was pretty easygoing because every time Bruce Lee wrote a script, it was like the person who was the enemy would get embarrassingly defeated by Bruce Lee. And I think Chuck Norris was very gracious to do. Was it Enter the Dragon? Which one was it? Which dragon one was it again? Where he and Chuck Norris fought in the Roman Colosseum. I don't know if that was Enter the Dragon or Way of... No. Oh, that's my dog. Headbutted that kick instead. Yeah, when you 19... It was Return of the Dragon. It was Return of the Dragon? Yeah, okay. Yep, okay. I always get the two names confused because it doesn't make sense. My dog is freaking out. Oh boy, sorry. I don't know what that was. Last Dragon had Bruce Lee. Return of the Dragon. Enter the Dragon? Enter the Dragon was the one where he was like on the Death Island, right? What kind of dog? She's a mini golden doodle. She'll probably come up here during this. She likes to come make her presence known during these. My wife's downstairs trying to keep her calm. Oh no, did that make all of your guys' dogs bark? I'm gonna have to cut this. There was one time that the dog was sitting right next to me while I was I think filming or live streaming, and it spiked my microphone so hard that it like actually caused a couple people to be like a little bit unhappy, which I fully understand. And then I forgot to sound level the video after the fact, and so people kept getting surprised by this like unannounced scream bark from my dog, and like I felt really bad because people were like just trying to listen to the stream and then suddenly like getting attacked by barks, and so I figured out how to cut that sound out in post. Anyway, remember when Bruce Lee tore off Chuck's chest hair? Yeah, that was harsh. That was really painful. Oh, we have a question that's not about pop culture. Will tariffs impact the project? Yes, but not in any way that backers will notice. I'm not changing pricing. Because of these tariffs. We are fortunate that some of the products we're fulfilling are currently not having a high tariff placed upon them because of other laws that supersede the current one being, well, standards that aren't being changed by the precedents of tariffs currently being set. It's hard to guess how they're going to change. You know, some peers I have in this space are trying to see, especially if they have a project that's imminent, that's going to go to print somewhat soon. Some people are trying to see if just waiting a little bit will cause tariffs to ease up. But I just don't know if there's any way to predict these things. There's not, there's just not. So, oh boy, yeah, everyone's talking about it. Well, we won't linger on it because I'm sure everybody's heard it up and down, but it is what it is. So All right. Jonathan from Lurking Fears is here, Mr. Dragonbane. I bet if you've played in a Shadowdark game at a con lately, there's a chance you were playing in a game with him. And he's a spectacular game master, has some super cool ideas for some upcoming things that I'm so excited about. And that is so fun to have you here. Thank you. Oh, and JP's here. Hey, dude. Oh man, JP, it's good to see you here, buddy. Oh, I know. Yeah, you've got a project coming in too. Yeah, it's there's always something exciting happening. I feel like every time I go to do a Kickstarter, like something really crazy happens in the world, and so, I'll try to stop doing these Kickstarters so that the crazy things stop happening. I just blame myself. I blame myself fully. Last time it was the OGL crisis. Yeah, so awesome. Hey, thanks you all. Gosh, I can't believe where this Kickstarter is landing on funding. I think we are the 11th highest TTRPG Kickstarter ever right now with this current funding. That is wild. The 11th highest ever? Like, it's hard to process what that means when you say it. Like, it's just really, really wild that it's what's amazing to me about it is that this Kickstarter has really defied conventional wisdom, which is there's a lot of conventional wisdom that when you release a supplement for a game system, that the supplement will not do as well as the core system, and that's kind of like considered like the standard long tail of having a system. So the fact that we've like this just done so well compared to the original Kickstarter is just crazy. I wouldn't have guessed it. It is possible that we are the highest OSR or old school Kickstarter. I'll need to look again through who's up, because what defines OSR is like not necessarily a commonly agreed upon thing. So it's hard to say, but I think that we have a strong argument for being the highest funded OSR Kickstarter to date, which is also pretty wild. That's just so crazy. Agronet Cultist, I owe GM Wisdom a message. He said hi to me, and I really I've been a little bit dropping the ball this month on communications because we've been doing so much. So if GM Wisdom is listening, or if anybody wants to tell him I'm so sorry, I believe I have a pending message from him, and that he was so gracious and kind to reach out, and I will definitely check into what he said. Yeah, it's Matt Morrow. It boggles my mind to be part of these. Matt Morrow's art is ubiquitous throughout the Shadowdark space, and I'm so grateful to have him on board. Matt has saved the day numerous times. The toil of artists behind the scenes is often not seen, and they do so much. It's Matt has been like at times where we needed emergency art done because like, let's say the OGL crisis happened and I needed to reformat the book, and suddenly 20 art spots opened up because of the way we had to redo the layout. Stuff like that. Like, Matt since day one has been such a just trooper with doing art for us. Like, last second he did the cover for Curse Scroll 3 with like 2 days notice, because I was like, oh my gosh, we don't have the cover ready for the Kickstarter. And I was like, we have to figure out how to get this put through. And then I was like, I think I know who can help us. And it was Matt, So thank you, Matt. You are spectacular and a treasure. And it is so good to have you here. Hi from Brazil. Hi. I'm so excited that Shadowdark's getting a Brazilian Portuguese localization. That's such big news. It's so exciting. And we're working on more localizations. We kind of had to put pause on it. For the time being, because of the Kickstarter stuff, but I'm hoping that we'll be able to pick that back up, especially after a really strong showing on Kickstarter like this. I think it shows that people are really excited for more Shadowdark. So, Oh, my last live stream made you buy Sabriel. I'm so happy to hear that. Oh, I love that book so much. So it's so funny. I read that book when I was pretty, like, not like I was a young kid. I think I was in high school or late middle school. And I really looked up to the character of Sabrielle as a kid because she's a very like fascinating person who is admirable in a lot of ways. And so it's funny because I looked up to her as a kid, and now that I was younger than the character as written when I was a kid reading about her. And then as I like surpassed her in age and got to be older, and now I'm definitely an adult, I look back on her and think like, she'd be a cool role model for like my nephews or nieces or other kids, and I hope that they also read that book. And I hope if you read it, you enjoy it too. It's part of a series, and I'll say that Sabrielle is probably my favorite in the series just because it was the first one I encountered, and I don't think the other two in the series had been written at the time. And then the author Garth Nix has since released other books in the setting. So it's a wonderful book. Yes, it's wonderful. Can we have some hope for a European Portuguese translation? Yeah, possibly. I have to learn about what the differences in nuance are between the two, because if for instance we were gonna get a Spanish translation, we would probably have to decide if it was like Americanized Spanish or if it was like Spain Spanish, and usually the person doing the translation wants the worldwide rights to the language, and it's not like based on region, so it can be a little bit tricky to navigate those things. So I don't know, I'll have to figure that out. I'll have to figure out what we can do there. Oh, Greg the Liar is here. Hey Greg, what's up? Oh, I'm glad to see you. I'm glad I saw your comment in here. Greg, also another integral member of the team of people who have brought Shadowdark to life. His team wrote the license that we now use, and that actually other creators have since used. I have fuzz on my shirt and it's bothering me. When you wear all black shirts, by the way, you're just gonna, oh, it's popcorn. It's a piece of popcorn. Yes, Greg's team, Greg and Laura primarily wrote the license that we use, and it has withstood the test of time. It in my opinion, is somewhat revolutionary because it allowed us to publish and continue to publish our work utterly without need of the OGL. And it's actually been so well received that other creators have adopted using it in their own work to release their own work with it, which is just awesome. You know, it's just is really, really cool to see that, and I'm happy that Greg and Laura's very hard work have enabled other people to more confidently publish without worrying about the stuff we all went through a couple years ago, you know? Hey, Black Lodge is here. Hey, you guys. Oh, I meant to congratulate you all because I caught some of your stream where you're announcing your next Shadowdark project, and I am so excited for it. Like, you guys have proven yourselves to be just such spectacular writers, and I'm so grateful you want to do another book using the Shadowdark system, and I'm super, super excited to see it. You guys should check that out. They released a Shucked Oyster, and now they're working on an offshoot book, which I have to admit I need to learn a little bit more about. I caught just a sliver of your stream before I had to jump on to some other deadlines, but needless to say, I know it's going to be just as good as the Shucked Oyster, so it's going to be very cool. Very, very cool. Yes, Bloodmore is what it's called. It looks awesome. So, oh, awesome. Yeah, thanks, you guys. Congrats. Well, congrats to you guys, because you guys are the ones that made this happen. You know, like, the backers are the people who made this crazy historic thing occur, you know, and it's just crazy. You increase, oh, Dave, thanks for increasing your pledge. Thank you. Yeah, oh, Benjathan, definitely make a Shadowdark project. It's fun. I love it. Questions, will there be late pledge? Yes, we're going to do late pledge, and we're going to do pledge management through BackerKit. Ooh, I might have halfway said this earlier, and I don't know if I finished sharing, but we're going to have BackerKit be our pledge manager. For the short term, we're going to have late pledging active through Kickstarter itself. We'll probably transition that over to BackerKit in the next week or so. And then you will be able to manage your pledge. So even if you pledged for like the $1 level, BackerKit has told me that you still then get access to their pledge manager where you could choose a totally different pledge. So I think just pledging at the $1 no reward level, according to them, is all it takes to get access to the pledge manager, which I'm glad to hear. So, Oh, I think this is Bear asking. Kelsey, heard you talk to Limithron Luke on the ship. I'm just guessing I think this is based on screen names that I'm familiar with. On Ship of the Dead, speaking of Meow Wolf and the need for immersive fantasy spaces, have I ever been to Wizard Quest in Wisconsin Dells? You betcha. You betcha I've been there. The Dells was a very frequently visited place for me in my ute when I was up in Wisconsin. So yeah. Who's been to Wizard Quest in the Dells? Has anybody else been there? Because I think in the sort of like Illinois, Michigan, and Chicago, and even Minnesota area, the Dells is sort of a known summer destination, especially a lot of people from Chicago. Yeah, and so it's absolutely a hoot. I hope that it's still the same as the last time I was there a long time ago. Oh yeah, it's exciting. Oh, I see Grumpy's in the chat. Hi, Grumpy. I bet you've been there. That's fantastic. I think I know who that is. Hey, thanks, you guys. Thanks. Yeah, the accent, especially when I'm with my family, it's always there, you know. Yeah, the Dells are great. I'm sad. I think they retired the Ducks, which were these like amphibious tanks that got decommissioned in Wisconsin, and then like this touring company bought them from the military and started this touring group because Wisconsin has a lot of lakes, and you could ride on them. They were called the Ducks, and you could get a ticket to go on a duck tour where you'd get into these tanks and then they plow towards the water, and like it was like a rite of initiation for kids who had never done it before, because like they just like plow towards the water and kids are like, we're going in the, like, it's kind of scary, and then you like fly out into the water and these dang tanks somehow float in the water, and then you motor around on this tour of like the cliff faces along the lakes and stuff in the Dells. And the duck boats, I don't know if they're still, I think they might have finally gotten like fully decommissioned, because when I was a kid they were old, and I mean I'm now old, so I hope that, yeah, the ducks, I hope they bring them back though if they're decommissioned. But I've been on a duck tour around London. Oh, how cool is that? Okay, question. What is the best way or place to submit third-party content for Shadowdark? Oh, for like cross-promotion, we have the third-party shoutouts form that you can fill out. Wow, I ate that popcorn and now I'm like having the hiccups. And I will find a link to that to put somewhere in this chat, because it's like a form you can fill out, and that lets me know that you have something that you'd like me to promote. And I can't promote everything because we get a lot more requests than I have room for, but I try to cycle between what I can and, you know, do a balance of established versus new authors and stuff. And, you know, especially if something that you're writing is really novel and something we haven't seen before, I think that helps me, you know, pick it out and say, this is something really cool we should feature. So we try our best to do as many as we can. And once the Kickstarter is over, I'm going to kind of go back to my regular monthly newsletter where we do these shout outs. You know, for now, I feel like I was hammering people so much with updates this month because I really don't send out like promotional things except every very once in a blue moon when we actually have a project like this occurring. So yeah, audio's good. Okay, I just moved my mic a little bit. Go Birds. Go Birds. Who are the Birds? A team that I don't know? Yeah. Oh, well, I would also agree with you. Go Birds. See, so I can see my hair starting to dry now, as compared to the beginning when I looked like a drowned cat. Yes, Professor DM. What a good guy, Professor DM. He's such a good guy. Do you know he works so hard to get his channel's viewership, to keep it really strong, and I've talked to him about this in person. His purpose for doing this is because he wants to be able to promote indie games. Like he sometimes people accuse him of making clickbait videos, but first of all, he's the only place where I get legit news that I know has been well vetted and is coming from a well-considered place. And he's also very up on, you know, the way that the financial side of this industry works, because he's a financial advisor. So I really trust the news coming from him, and I think he delivers it and curates it really well. But he gets accused of doing clickbait, but he makes these videos that have sort of a higher, like, click on me thing, so that every so often he can put a video in there that he knows is going to get a lower viewership, but it's about like an indie game or something. And he did that for me. He did that for me, actually. Like, you know, he had no obligation to make a video about my work, but he was really excited for it, and he did it. And you can see that there's this, like, you know, hammock effect where he had two really mega videos about really like industry type news, and then he sneaked in a video about the indie space. And I just want to thank him so much for caring so much about the indie space, that he's willing to build his channel up so that he can sort of spend that cachet on videos that YouTube isn't gonna like, and it can put his, you know, it can imperil his channel if he does that too often. So he works so hard to find those opportunities to promote people's work that he likes, and he doesn't ask for anything. He's so generous with his time and what he loves, and that's one reason I look up to him so much. He's just so cool. And I know he's working on Deathbringer, and I cannot wait for him to get that out. I mean, it's been a long time coming. He's a perfectionist, and so he's been drafting it and redrafting it, and then he's been doing some editing, and then I don't want to spoil it, but I heard that he just brought on somebody to edit what looks like the final draft, who I think people are gonna think is very, very exciting. I'm not gonna say who it is. It's his to announce, but I think definitely keep your ears out for that. Yeah. Oh, Professor DM got you interested in Shadowdark. See, I have him to thank for letting a lot of people know about the game. You know, my peers in this industry. The thing is that everybody's so supportive of each other. We have JP in the chat. I know Baron Durap's been around. I met Baron Durap because of Shadowdark, and he's now one of my dearest friends. And the reason I met him was because I was gearing up towards the Kickstarter, and I knew of his YouTube channel. I had watched it, but I had never talked to him. And then he reached out to me, just cold email, and he was like, "Hey, I'm getting married, and I love your game, and I want to use it as the party favor. Like, you know, what would it cost me to get like XYZ number of quick start sets?" And I was totally starstruck that like Baron Durap was asking me this. And not only did he like the game enough that he wanted to use it as the party favor at his wedding, he had a Conan the Barbarian themed wedding a couple of years ago, and his wife is so cool. And I just was like, I'll just print them at cost. I'll send them to you at cost, because it's just so cool that this is what you want to use them for. So that's what we did. And then, you know, then we just ended up kind of becoming friends after that. And he's one of the most easy people to become friends with. So, and he's so supportive of Shadowdark. He's always been really excited for it. And his love of Shadowdark is how we met. So, yeah. And he runs the independent game jam. He's run 2 game jams for Shadowdark that have produced dozens, if not hundreds, of third-party supplements for Shadowdark. And the tradition has been that we then take the top community voted entries, and then we get a cool panel together and sort of do a live judging process and choose which one we feel was the winner based on a lot of some semi-intangible criteria. It's sort of an overall judgment call. And it's a hard choice. It's a hard choice because there's so many good entries. It's like agonizing to try to choose like the winner. And the last time we did one, Baron Drop did a charity fundraiser for Develop Africa during it, and we raised $3,000 for charity. And like it just like donations just go straight to the charity. It doesn't like pass through him. I think it just goes straight to the charity, as far as my understanding. It's via like the YouTube's donating thing. I don't quite know how it works, but I feel like it's something that I feel is like a very good way to donate. Anyway, what do I know? But we raised $3,000 for that charity, and they ended up building a classroom in a school, like an entire classroom in a school with that money, and they put up a little plaque on the wall in honor of the event, you know, essentially to commemorate the fact that the classroom was able to be built due to that single donation, which is just wild. Like it's very cool. We have a very, very generous audience of creators, and I mean, can you imagine that $3,000 can build an entire classroom? Like, how life-changing is that? So I'm starting Shadowdark because I backed a book on Kickstarter about cults and then didn't realize it was for this system. Oh, I think I know what book that was. I backed that too. That was a really cool book. What was it called? I can literally envision the cover. It's got like a cool like tentacle situation on the cover. It's like black. One book is black and one is white. Oh, it's so cool. I'm sure we'll think of it. If someone remembers what it's called, please tell me in the chat. Let's see how we're doing. I'm gonna refresh. I think this is keeping up though live. I just noticed. So, whoa! Look where we're at. Look where we're at. This is crazy. We've got under half hour left to go. And this is far beyond. So some of you guys might know Michael, who works in Night Noon Games, and he works with me and helps me out with a lot of cool stuff. And he's, you know, if you've emailed me, chances are you could have gotten an email back from him. And we were trying to guess before we hit launch, because we were like on a live call with each other really early the morning that we launched this project. And you know, we were sitting there just like super nervous waiting, and we hit go, and like really like 5 minutes before we click go, he was like, "How much do you think we're gonna do?" And I was like, I don't even know. I was like, honestly, and I always guess a little bit like conservatively, because I'm the kind of person where I like don't want to get my hopes up and then be disappointed. So I'm sort of like, I think I'd be good at the prices right, because I usually don't go over on what I guess, you know. So I guessed around like, I was like, I think it would be top end if we finished out at like 600,000. That would be the top end of what I would guess for this. Which is like, look how wrong I was. Look how wrong. Yeah, look how wrong I was. And so, you know, this is a situation where I like being wrong, thankfully. Oh, and Michael works with JP also. Yes, Michael's great. He's so great. He's just so enthusiastic. He also was like helping run the booth at GaryCon, and Cameron Moss, who's one of the cartographers for Shadowdark, also was helping run the booth. He's been with me since like the early days, and he's doing illustrations and cartography for the game. He has been since before we published our first stuff. And they were at the booth, which is so fun, helping run the booth at GaryCon. And Jesse and Elliot, too, are Michael's friends, and they came and helped run the booth, and it was so much fun to have them there. I was calling them the Booth Boys. I was like, the Booth Boys. They're just blowing it out of the water, and they're so genuinely excited about doing stuff like this and being at cons and playing games. I had so much fun. They played so many different games there, and I really am happy to think that they had a great time at GaryCon despite having to work a little bit, you know. So, and Greg was there. Greg saved the day numerous times. He helped set up the booth when there was a crisis where we thought maybe we weren't going to be able to get the booth set up quickly enough, and then I get to the booth all like, oh, I gotta get working on this. And Greg and his wife had already set the booth up. They had already set the whole booth up for it. Can you believe that? Can you believe how kind that is? Like, you know, I was rushing there all by myself, all worried, being like, because unfortunately Michael got really sick and couldn't help, but it's not his fault, but obviously, but he had like food poisoning. He couldn't come help set up the booth. So I was like, okay, here I go. And I was gonna sweat through it the whole morning by myself. And Greg and his wife had already set up the whole booth. Like, can you believe that? Yeah. Julie. Yeah. I didn't know if Greg kept Julie's name a secret, but I see he said Julie. So, yeah, they both saved the day. Greg constantly saves the day. Let's just say that. So, and Julie as well. Julie is so supportive and awesome, and she comes to GaryCon, and she's not herself much of a gamer, but like she's so supportive, and we get lunch together, we hang out. She's so fun to hang out with. I just love Greg and his family and their adorable dog Maisie. So, hi Kelsey, I can help translate Scarlet Minotaur to Spanish. Thank you. Well, I don't want you to worry too much, because we do have Spanish localization talks in the works. We are actively working on getting, it temporarily paused because of the Kickstarter, but we have excellent leads on getting Shadowdark localized into Spanish. So how that usually works is we find a team that can do the translation, keep the layout true to the original layout. We actually like hand them all of the InDesign files and assets. They do the translation in-house. and then we work on improving it together. We look through it and make sure, like, yeah, this fits the original vision. We feel like this matches the layout we were hoping for, and it's a tough task, honestly, especially in a language that has, on average longer sentences like French and Spanish. Than the English is on average a shorter sentence, and like you all know how important layout is to Shadowdark. So we work with the team closely. They translate it. Then once it's approved, they actually get it printed locally and distribute it locally, and they essentially buy a license to have worldwide rights to that language so they can sell it in other places. And before we decide to work with somebody on a localization, we make sure that they intend to sell it in as many countries as possible around the world with that language. We wouldn't just work with, like, for our French translation, we're not just working with a company that will only sell it in France. They actually have distribution all throughout Quebec and in parts of Africa and all kinds of countries that speak Spanish. So that's very important to us. So we're looking, that speak French. So we're looking for the same kind of thing with other languages as well. I can translate it to Attic Greek. What is Attic Greek? I haven't heard of Attic Greek. I've heard of Greek. I recently learned how translating to French can break the UI. It's so tough. A lot of times, what we're doing with the Brazilian Portuguese version is they're actually doing a B-sized book, which is actually what a lot of smaller A5 size books have done, is upgrade slightly in size so that it can still maintain that 2-page spread, because I feel that the 2-page spread layout is more important than the smaller A5 size. So we increase the size of the book slightly to accommodate more text and then keep the 2-page spread layout. That's very common in countries that are localizing from English into a romance-based language, or a romance language, not based. Kelsey mentioned anything about Shadowdark. Oh, yes. Okay, so I put it to vote about adding the Shadowdark rules to the back of the premium edition. Now, I'm not going to add it into the standard core rules because we have thousands of those at the warehouse ready to go, and I don't want to create a split version, and I don't want to make a version of Shadowdark core rules that somehow like devalues the existing or prior versions. Like the Shadowdark core rules will always stay how they are. We're not going to add new chapters to them. But for the limited premium edition we're doing for this Kickstarter, it's a limited one-time run. None of them have been printed yet, so I figured this could be a good opportunity to put the Shadowdark rules in as the final chapter if people wanted that, because we're not going to be appending a version of the book that already exists. This is a one-time print run for a special edition version. And right now, yes is leading by a huge margin. It's about 80% of voters want us to do that. So I can say that unless some incredible tide change happens, we are definitely going to put the solo gameplay rules into the rear of the premium book. It will not impact the cost. It will not impact the weight or size of the book. It's adding about 6 leaves. It's adding less than 12 pages. So it's a small thing to add, but I think it's going to be very cool to have it in there. I personally will be excited for that, because Shadowdark is meant to be used with the core rules. I'm not going to put the pages in Shadowdark that talk about references to other, like how to look up, because like there's a section in Shadowdark that talks about where the page numbers are in the main book to find all the tables that you might need for things. And I'm not gonna put that in this version because it's already in the book. But suffice to say, you need the main Shadowdark rules to play Shadowdark. Otherwise, you're just gonna have like a small set of roll tables that on their own are really not enough. So that's definitely gonna happen. Would it impact the layout of the book? So no, the reason I want to put it as the last chapter is because it will not impact any of the prior book's page number references at all. So even the premium core rules, like the page number references that are suggested, will stay the same, and then just the Shadowdark rules will be appended onto the end of that, so you won't have any page number changes as far as references. Plans to expand Shadowdark in the future? Possibly. Yeah, possibly if I come up with something. I originally was going to put a bunch more roll tables in it, and then I realized I was literally just rewriting the GM chapter of the Shadowdark core rules, and I was like, well, I wrote this GM chapter in order to support stuff like solo play. So why am I trying to rewrite it again? Like, it's meant to work together. So I'm not trying to fight this. So then I realized I was doing unnecessary things, and I just was like, the solo rule system itself is quite lightweight, and that's really the thing that was missing. Premium edition. So yeah. Oh, thank you. Yeah, like don't worry. If you even we're gonna have late pledging as well. But the official number that's tallied at the end of the Kickstarter is whatever it is when it ends, you know? So as far as like when people look back in history on how successful this Kickstarter was, it will be the number that we're at in 17 minutes from now. So if you want to pledge but you can't be part of that number, don't worry. We're going to have late pledging open. I do not want anyone to overextend themselves financially to try to make a deadline. Like, there's no reason to have to do that. I'm just saying, if you can and you want to, then you can, but don't hurt your wallet. Romance not based, Kelsey 2025. Ike of Pike, that's my new favorite. That's my new favorite entirely out of context quote that's so funny on its own. It's romance language, not based on a romance language. But then romance not based. Kelsey should be on the Kickstarter of time for Kickstarter of the year. No, there's plenty of time left this year for other Kickstarters to come through and knock it out of the park, you know. Which I feel you guys have certainly knocked this one out of the park. I would never have been able to predict this. If we pledge for Shadowdark, will all our wildest dreams come true? Knowing that Greg's in the chat, legally I cannot say yes to that. Are sales of Shadowdark consistent between Kickstarters, or is it more of a valley between peaks? So we consistently do well. Like I think that the success of this Kickstarter, if I had been, you know, hindsight is 2020. Shadowdark has been selling very well, very strongly throughout this year, and this is something I actually was able to talk about a bit during a seminar at GaryCon. But for those who weren't there, we just ordered a new print run like about 3 months that arrived 3 months ago. That print run was larger than the first Kickstarter print run, if you can believe that. So that reflects the demand of the game. We actually had to order more books to replenish than we did for the first Kickstarter. So we're seeing a lot of interest. Oh, House DM is here. Hey, buddy. How you doing? Oh, it's good to see you. I need more House DM in my life. I think I'm going to see you soon, though, right? You're coming to Green Dragon Fest, right, buddy? I hope so. So, yeah. The sales of Shadowdark have been really strong, and I think that is reflective of, you know, I think we have an audience that's still, like, that loves the game, and I obviously I can see that from how the Kickstarter's doing. Will we see PDFs in the near future, or will they come out at the same time as print? I'm gonna ship the PDFs as soon as they're done. So, you know, I'm estimating that it's going to take 8 weeks. It might take 12. I don't know for sure how long the writing is going to take to finish, and the art. We are very far along into all of it, so there's no question that it's going to be done imminently, but I do have to finish writing certain elements of each thing. And there's some art that I'm still waiting to commission. I know we work with very, very wonderful and speedy illustrators, as I talked about earlier with Matt, and also Yuri, Mark Lyons, Cameron. All the artists that we work with are so good, and you know, once I know the final bits that I need, I am so confident in handing those off and knowing that we'll get them in a very, very reasonable and fast turnaround. So I'll have to take a little bit of time to finish the writing, but it's going to be my main focus, and we're far past the point of no return as far as it being imminent. You know, it's like, I know exactly what needs to be done to get the book done. So I'm excited. I'm excited that this will be the thing I know I'm doing for the next couple of months, is finishing up all the writing and everything. Yeah, Victor Gorchev is here. He just did an awesome Kickstarter. It was very, very successful for Blacklight, which is like a modernized, um, it's like a modern, I guess, take on Shadowdark, but it's not. It's like there's still spooky. It's got monsters and stuff in it and all that. It's not just like only modern stuff. It's there's a lot of like if you see the art, you'll know what I mean. You should go check it out. Check out Blacklight for Shadowdark. Oh, thanks. You like the look of the book. Thank you, It could be Francisco, but Francisco. Thank you. The cover art this time is a diptych by Andrew Beckwith, who is this phenomenal illustrator. He's been doing a lot of covers in the Shadowdark space. He does a lot of work for the Righteous Vow zine, which is super great by Bill Harvett and company. And he's excellent. And he was really excited about the idea of putting these two. I was asking, like, hey, could we do a thing where we have the player's guide, have like players on it, like, facing off against on the GM's guide, like some monsters that are very iconic to the Western Reaches, and he just was like so on the ball with it. It just came out so awesome. So, yeah, Blacklight is killer, as is Modern Necessities, also by Victor. Yes. Backer number 1 on Blacklight. You were Black Lodge? You clicked the button fastest? That's amazing. That's always exciting. Question: How the premium version for the Scarlet Minotaur idea came up? Oh, because I was, we wanted to do something really big and cool for the $2 million mark. We were like just so boggled at even having to consider such a thing. And, I've always thought that the Scarlet Minotaur is one of the game's most iconic adventures. It's in the free Quick Start set, and it is often the game that people first discover, it's the adventure that people first discover Shadowdark with. And I'm also really proud of it. I had a blast writing it. I think it's got some really, really fun stuff in it. I'm proud of it. And I was like, well, we could make it its own thing, We could make it its own thing. And yeah, it was so cool to just be able to be able to turn it into its like own standalone adventure. And I want to be able to give that to people just as a thank you. That's really what it is. It's just as a thank you. So my wife drew the art for it. It's and we've been tinkering with it. What we showed you guys originally was like an initial draft. We've been tinkering it with a bit more. So the image that's up on the Kickstarter right now is the final draft of it. But yeah, super exciting. I love the explanation for the cover art for the Western Reaches. Yeah, that's so good. I'm so glad to hear it. Any advice for someone who owns Scrolls 1 through 3, deciding between backing 4 through 6 versus Western Reaches guides? Well, if you've used the scrolls and you like their modularity, then probably stick with those. They're very flexible. They're like drop-in mini settings, and you can always get the 2 books later on. We're intending to keep them in print if you decide that you like all the scrolls so much that you want to unite them. And some people want to get the 6 cursed scrolls and make their own world around it too. Which is like totally fine. So I think those are always where to start. I think you can always add to what you have as far as the cursed scrolls go if you like them, and if you want them to be unified. And like you can keep your players busy in just one of those for quite some time. Like Mike Shea, Sly Flourish ran like a year-long adventure just out of Cursed Scroll 1 for his group, and so if they had more of a wandering streak, maybe they would have wandered out of the Gloaming and wanted to explore elsewhere. But his group was more like they had sort of a mission or some driving things they wanted to accomplish in the Gloaming, and they stayed there for a year, and had a whole long campaign from start to finish. Looking forward to carrying your products in our shop. Thank you. Yeah, we've been saying this, and we're going to say it more. We're trying to sell direct to FLGS and give them the best pricing we can, and kind of, it kind of cuts out a lot of the middlemen because we can go direct with wholesale costs, so it's lower cost for everybody. And then really this coming year, we're planning to do a lot of support for FLGS, a lot of like in-store programs, and we're working up the Shadow League, which is going to be our version of some kind of adventuring league. Now, what it'll look like is still very much in the works, but we want to do things that other companies maybe don't do because we're so ground level, we're so at the grassroots level that we can really take direct feedback and kind of do some stuff that other companies aren't necessarily willing to do, Let's see. Oh, Black Lodge recently picked up the scrolls. You like the art in CS3. Oh, thank you. Will other regions have their own unique styles? Somewhat. And it's especially in the hardcovers. I'm trying. In fact, we're getting new art for all of the classes in the hardcovers because I like being able to have different options. And so sometimes art's more unified, and sometimes it's a little bit in the same vein, but very different styles. But I would like one day to be able to do something where maybe we work with one specific artist for a specific purpose, and they do the illustrations for the whole book. That would be pretty cool. I think that would come out looking really cool. So definitely something to consider. Yeah, I think that would be fun. Oh, Sabrielle, thanks for recommending. Halfway through and it's wonderful. Oh, I'm so glad, Ross. I'm so glad. I really am happy that you like it. It's really cool. It's set in kind of like a World War I era. Briefly, I mean, it is. There's really the book takes place in two countries essentially, and they're very different from each other. That's all I'll say. I don't want to spoil it. Shadow League, we rule in the shadows. Am I hiring artists right now? I am always excited to see portfolios of artists. So if you are interested in sharing your portfolio, please send it to contact@thearcanelibrary.com. That's absolutely the way that I've found and worked with some artists in the past. So, yeah. Wow, we have six minutes. Ooh, I can't stand it. Only 6 minutes. Are there adventures in the Western Reaches connected, or are they more loose and to be connected as a gem? So there's a lot of implied connectivity between a lot of things, like encounter tables, hexes. There are hexes that all kind of that interact and reference each other, especially within their regions, but sometimes outside of their regions. And so there aren't adventures written that have explicit connections between them, but part of the baking process and the kneading the bread process has been incorporating a lot of interconnectivity into this setting so that the game master can run with that if they want, and if they want to plant some rumors while the characters are in the city of masks that take place somewhere in the Silent Mountains, for instance, there's stuff like that between all of it. Yeah. Question, do you do anything in the Vegas area for your fellow locals? I have at times run open tables at game stores. Right now I've been a little bit too busy to do that, sadly. But it'd be cool to pick that back up when my life settles down a little bit. Oh, this is better than watching the ball drop at New Year's? Yeah, I won't I won't make you guys stand out in a freezing cold New York street. Used to live in New York, and the ball dropping, the locals all the goal was to get out of Times Square before about noon each day because the people started to show up, and it was crazy. So writing an Easter-themed Shadowdark one-shot. I ran Leprechaun Hollow in St. Pat's, and they loved it. Oh, that's so good. I love a good Leprechaun caper, and I'm excited to hear that you are doing an Easter one now too. Oh my God, 4 minutes. I can't even believe it. Oh my God, 4 minutes. My hair has dried rather well in the hour since I went live. Thank you. It's a little bit, I'm way overdue for a haircut. It's getting real long and wolf looking. But it's so dry in Las Vegas that if I go outside when my hair is wet, it's dry in 2 minutes. I've been inside this whole time. I don't know if that was, I'm pretty sure that was obvious. I don't know. Hey, Todd, thank you so much. Todd, I really appreciate that. I always appreciate having you here. Question, do you think you'd ever release any adventure supplement that has a more structured story that could be dropped into the Western Reaches? Possibly. I'm done developing the Western Reaches as a world, as a region, as a setting. But, releasing stuff to be used or that references some of that setting lore in the future, that could absolutely happen. if I want to, if I get excited to do that, then it probably will happen. Oh, Black Lodge, the goal in New York is never to be in Times Square at all. Yeah, correct. My wife used to work in Times Square, so I would go get her and we'd be like, we need to flee, you know. Oh, got trapped there on St. Patrick's. I'm so sorry to hear that. What's next for the Arcane Library? Oh my God, 2 minutes to go. Oh no, 2 minutes to go. What are we gonna do? I don't know I actually don't know what a Kickstarter does when it ends. Does it just end? Like, I think it's just like done. I think it just is like, it's done now. Maybe there's confetti. They should make it so confetti flies down the screen. That would be exciting. Oh, Michael's here. Hey, Michael. Yay. Hey, Michael. Michael's so sweet. He sent me and my wife a champagne bottle when we oh, brief sighting. When we funded the first day and it did so well. Like, we got a knock on the door and there was someone standing there with a champagne bottle. It was so sweet, Michael. Thank you. Oh my gosh, 2 minutes. Confetti rains down and the page changes. It does? I'll have to figure out how to zoom. Oh my God, it's doing a seconds countdown. This is like when your torch timer's about to go out. This is how I feel. Oh my gosh, I'm so nervous. Make sure everyone likes the video. I mean, only if you want to. Shadowdark Mega Dungeon? Yes, I've got one in the works. Who knows when it'll be done? Someday. I keep changing it and fussing with it, but will I write a Mega Dungeon one day? I mean, I'm trying. I would like to. Oh, hey, congrats. Thanks, you all. Oh, Miguel, the TV explodes. Oh, okay. Torch timer. Oh, thanks, JP. Hey, Mark Lyons is here. Thank you, Mark. Mark's so sweet. He's so sweet. He's very kind. Oh my gosh, 76 seconds. This is what it feels like to be on the receiving end of this rule, doesn't it? Usually I'm the game master, like, cackling, being like, their torch is about to go out. Groups inspire me. This is very inspiring. This has been such a positive and cool campaign. Oh my gosh, it turns red. It's a minute. It turns red. Did you know it did this? Jesse's over there. It turns red. Matilda's waiting patiently. Oh my gosh, Matilda, can you stand it? This is it. It's back now or never. You know? I mean, that's not true, but as far as being part of the final number is now or never. Shadowdark Quick Start, yeah! A Mega Dungeon, ooh, someday. From Brazil. We surpassed the first Kickstarter by a bit. Oh my gosh, everyone says hi Jesse. Oh man, should we count down at the 10-second mark? Ready? 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh, it's over. Oh, it does. Oh my gosh, look, it does confetti. Oh, look, it does confetti. That's so cool. It actually does do that. That is so awesome. Oh my gosh, you guys. Look, the page changed. It says, what does it say? What does it say now if I refresh it? Does it say like, successfully funded on April 9th? Late pledge. You can still late pledge. I guess you can, but the number itself, can you believe this? $2,384,757 pledged by 12,795 backers. Thank you guys so much. That's crazy. Look who's here. Oh, Matilda. Matilda, who is it? Hi. Who do you see? Do you see all the backers that pledged for Shadowdark Western Reaches? Oh my goodness. Oh, she sees a lot of things out the window is what she sees. You all, thank you so much. This is so crazy. Look at that. That is crazy. Everyone's like, are you gonna cry? And I'm like, no, no, I'm not. Wow, but really, you guys, thank you so much. This is just so exciting. What's so exciting about it is to know that people want Shadowdark to continue. Like, you know, this this was a bit of a litmus test to see if this game still had legs. And, you know, because people like to prognosticate on the internet about how sometimes things are just flashes in the pan. But I mean, obviously this is no flash in the pan. This is so cool. This is so cool, you all. Absolutely wild. Like, look at that. Look at that. We are the 11th highest TTRPG Kickstarter ever funded. Matilda was so happy she almost started barking. Jesse was here. Man, the confetti was actually really cool. I like that they do that. I did not realize that they do that when it like actually hits like 0. That's so cool. Gosh, that was so cool. Oh my gosh, you guys. Well, now what? Now it's time to get writing and arting and finish this out so I can share it with you all. I'm so excited. I cannot wait to be running my own home game again in this world, because this is my home game. Like, this is the world that I have been writing for and playing, and even my 5e stuff actually is in this world too. You know, it's because this is a world that I think about when I write. And so I'm so excited to get these books in my own hands and actually have like the coherent entire thing of the world that I've been working on since 2017 and sharing with you all bit by bit. And, you know, and I hope that you guys are looking forward to that too. So, ballpark idea on when PDFs will ship. I'm thinking we're going to have a lot of PDFs to share within the next 8 to 12 weeks. It might not be every single one of them. We are the number of products that we have associated with this Kickstarter is 34 separate things. Some of those are like reprints, but 34 SKUs, many things to finish. But I think we'll have quite a lot of it out within the next 8 to 12 weeks, possibly some final touches to still do on some of the Game Master's Guide, being that that's the one that has the most stuff going on in it. And you all, this is just absolutely surreal, you know. So I'm so excited. I'm so excited to get to do this for you guys, and this gets to be my job. This is the best job. This is the best job. The best job. I don't think there's one job anyone could ever offer me that would make me not want to do this job instead. Like, I cannot think of something that would make me not want to do this work, you know. It's just crazy. So yay. Oh, you just got the email that the Kickstarter was successful. Oh man. All right. Well, I mean, you guys, thank you. There's so much to do, and I hope that you'll all have a toast to yourselves for being the supporters who made this truly happen. You guys made this happen. Like, this would just be an idea without the backers. Like, this would just be some notes in my book and in my notebook and on my Google Drive and stuff. This would literally just be that without people who want these books. And so, you know, this is truly. And then I often say this, that like these things are created really by the support of the audience, because otherwise they would have no real purpose in existing if people didn't want to use them and if people didn't support the idea of them. So you should be cheersing yourself for supporting the indie space and making things like this possible and showing the world that indie RPGs are here to stay, and giving me the opportunity to write this stuff for you guys. So I'm so grateful. Thank you. Okay, I'm gonna go before I start crying or something, which is, you know, you don't want to see that. It's ugly. But you know, it's just so, this is so moving. So thanks, you guys. Okay, I better go before I start crying. Have a good night, and more updates coming. I can't wait to share updates with you all, and we will move on to the next exciting stage of this Kickstarter together. So thank you, everybody. Okay, I'll catch you guys later.